I got to see an advanced screening of Jurassic World Rebirth, and I never could have imagined the reaction I got from people when I posted my spoiler-free review. I don't even understand what's happening. There's a certain dinosaur that everyone in the comments on YouTube has been asking me about. It's like a lot of people, like a lot on YouTube. So we need to talk about it. Hello everybody, welcome back. Here's a question I've been asked, and so I'm here to answer it for you. What about Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus? Is that in Jurassic World Rebirth? So a heads up, we're gonna be talking about that. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus in general. Because for those of you that might not know, maybe you are new to the Jurassic Park franchise, maybe you started with World. I don't know what your experience is with the movies. I just want to highlight what this character, I mean, technically, I guess it is. It's basically the main antagonist of the film, the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. And this is a bit of a controversial dinosaur from the film because the dinosaur is basically following our cast throughout. It does some crazy stuff. It gets up to some wild shenanigans, like taking on a T-Rex and snapping its neck. T-Rex can't defend itself. It's got its little arms. So Spinosaurus was considered to be controversial kind of because of this with fans who felt that it was pretty crazy to see the Spinosaurus T-Rex fight and for the outcome to be what it was. Obviously, T-Rex fans were a little like, hey, wait a minute now. T-Rex is strongest there is. But one of my favorite elements of the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 is actually closer to the end of the film, which is where the Spinosaurus is in the water with the cage. If you remember that part, I remember that horrified me when I watched Jurassic Park 3 for the first time. I thought it was terrifying. And that is the moment that has haunted me the most. However, there are lots of haunting moments with the Spinosaurus. There's a part where the Spinosaurus comes up and a satellite phone has been devoured because it devoured someone with the satellite phone, and they just hear the ringtone of the phone, and then it's like, what's that? Oh god, Spinosaurus. And the phone is ringing in the Spino's stomach. So there are horrifying moments, I'm sure, for many of us that haunt us from Jurassic Park 3, which overall I actually think is not too bad of a film. I need to go back and rewatch it before I stamp that statement with a seal of 2025 approval, which I will be doing because I'm going to do a tier list with Jurassic Park. But that's besides the point. We're here to talk about Jurassic Park 3 Spino because I know you want to hear about it because it's all people have been asking me about in the comments. You know what? Let's just take it to the comments and let them speak for themselves. So this comment says, if there is no classic Spino scene where it saves the day, then 0 out of 10. And I responded and actually asked about, can I just ask why you feel this plot point is necessary for the film to be considered good? Like, why would this make the film better for you? Or perhaps, why is this the only thing you need to have in the film for it to be considered above a 0? I'm just genuinely curious here. JP3 Spinosaurus, the GOAT. Okay. Interesting. Someone said, can you please tell us if there is a final battle in the end, and if the JP3 Spinosaurus will appear? Also, what about the role of the new T-Rex? And someone said, I don't know, the people who sees the film has different reviews. They said the film has no final battle and no JP3 Spino. What you said was the film has final battle and JP3 Spino returns is hard to believe. And I responded and said, are you asking if the specific Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3 returns, or if there are Spinosauruses in it? Because I thought when people were asking about Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus, they were just asking like if there's Spinosauruses. Surely no one could be asking me if the exact Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3 is in this movie, right? Guys? Because how would we know that? Also, this is a totally different island from my understanding of the movie. Yeah, so it's mentioned quite a bit in the comments, and there was this one comment where people really started getting into it, and I got pulled into what's going on with the JP3 Spinos here. So this person asked, is JP3 Spino in it? And then 3 people said no, and then I said yes, because I thought they were asking, is a Spinosaurus in it? you know, obviously that would make sense. You like Spinosauruses, and they were very, very important in Jurassic Park 3. There was this big Spinosaurus, like I said. And then someone responded and said, he means the very same individual from Jurassic Park 3, not the species as a whole. No, I'm just correcting her. I think she thinks you're talking about the species as a whole. I did, but not that same Spino we knew. And my editor, Uptown Duck, jumps into this comment here and says, there are Spinosauruses in the movie. Uptown Duck was with me, by the way, at the advanced screening and also saw it with me, but not the exact same one from JP3. It doesn't have a name tag that says I was in JP3, which is true. No one is wearing a name tag that says all the movies they were in for the dinosaurs or anyone else. And then we go into this, like, intense clarification about the lore of the JP3 Spino. And I have to say, Warris771, thank you for the lore dump, because I didn't know how deep this went. So I guess through other means, people have become fans of the JP3 Spino, or they just really love Jurassic Park 3. And this person said, yeah, I kinda knew that. The JP3 Spino is a unique animal, and based on from many promotional material and canonical sources, he was the only one of his kind, the amalgamation experiment, to have been created. I don't know where that was clarified, but perhaps it was mentioned somewhere else that I haven't seen yet. And there has been no signs of another monster like him afterwards. For me, personally, I've watched the movies, so that is my main ties to Jurassic Park, is through the movies, not through anything else. He even appeared in Camp Cretaceous seasons 4 and 5, so it can't be another one. The animal isn't from Ilsa Sorna. It's said to have been an accident left on Sorna or something like that, according to the Maserati website. No one can possibly truly replicate such an accident unless they could take his DNA to clone another specimen that resembles him, which is highly unlikely due to how dangerous he is for someone to approach him. And I believe this was also established in the show, by the way, the danger factor, which I guess we also saw in JP3. Even creating another clone would be worse, so he is a unique specimen, and there's no way he'd make it all the way to St. Hubert Island, which, by the way, is true, because I looked this up, and to go from Costa Rica to the Caribbean, because Ilsa Sorna is like near Costa Rica, and the island in Jurassic World Rebirth is near the Caribbean, it's over 1,000 meters to swim. Now, for a dinosaur that was really strong at swimming, this probably wouldn't be too much of an issue. It's probably possible, at least. But for something like the Spinosaurus, it's actually believed to be not a super strong swimmer, and a dinosaur that would have preferred to hunt if it were in the water, in the shallows, stay in the shallows. So based on the general consensus of what people believe, that would be a lot for it to swim, you know? According to Chaos Theory Season 1, another show, apparently I gotta be watching these Jurassic Park shows, that's where all the Spinosaurus lore is. Sammy mentions the CIA, or something, investigated Manticorp Island and removed all the animals from there. It is unknown whether he died on the island or he's still alive and somewhere on the mainland. Again, St. Hubert seems to be a very secretive island, so I doubt Assat 87 would be dumped there or he migrated there on his own. The Rebirth Spinos are probably InGen's closest attempt at recreating an accurate Spino. Perhaps they're mutants, or like other InGen dinos, they were spliced with frog DNA to differentiate them from their ancestors. And I mean, we don't really know for sure, but yeah, I think they got some good theories. They got some good theories is all I'm going to say without getting into major spoilers or anything. The mobile game Jurassic World Alive features a pure Spinosaurus alongside the InGen monster in-game. So if that's its canonical design as a purely created dinosaur, then Rebirth Spino could be added into the game as a halfway point between the accurate Spino and the monster from Ilsa Sorna. There would be 3 Spino variants if Alive's accurate Spinosaurus is a canon design. What a lore dump, can I just say? I gotta give that a heart. I didn't give it a heart yet, and I really appreciate how in-depth this person went to explaining sort of all of the knowledge that they have based on where the Spinosaurus has been, the specific one, and how anything could be attached to it in the movie. And then the original commenter responded and said, wow, thanks for all this info. Yeah, I don't keep up with the Jurassic stuff that much, but I was really hoping JP3 Spino to appear and fight alongside T-Rex to defeat D-Rex. To me, I'm just like, Okay, but I thought the only reason that people would be really invested now in the Spinosaurus because of all the lore that this other person has, who seems super invested in the story of the Spinosaurus. Either that or they were just curious to know what was possible and did a bunch of research on it. But I thought that must be the reason why people want Jurassic Park 3 Spino in it. But now the original commenter comes back and says, I'm not that into it. I just really want the Spinosaurus to team up with the T-Rex. I just don't understand why in this movie people would think that the original Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus would be in it. I don't really fully comprehend. I think, here's my best theory on this. Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus is a very powerful dinosaur, obviously. So people just like the powerhouse element of this creature. Possibly because there are references to it or appearances of it in other Jurassic Park related properties, like the shows on Netflix. And then my other theory with this is that because of Jurassic World and us seeing some dinosaurs team up together to fight other dinosaurs, there's a lot of like, almost like kaiju mentality stuff where it's like, which dinosaur is the real hero? And I mean, obviously we have Blue and stuff like that. So I feel from that trilogy, a lot of people are seeking these big dino battles where the good dino will fight the bad dino. But it's also really weird because as far as I know, JP3 Spino has pretty much always been a villain. So to see it team up with a T-Rex to fight the D-Rex, that would imply that like now it's having a redemption arc. Like, is... I can understand why people want it. Look, I can get it from the Jurassic World perspective. But one thing I will say about Jurassic World Rebirth is that this is really a return to form in the sense that there is horror elements to the film, and the dinosaurs that we see here, while not all being horrifying creatures that are like out to get you, they are animals. They are very much presented as being creatures, not as necessarily being anthropomorphic in any way. So it's a little bit of a different approach, except for one. There is one, and her name's Dolores, and we love Dolores. She must be protected at all costs. But other than that, you don't really get like this close attachment to a lot of the dinosaurs in this. It's clearly more of an homage to the original trilogy than I would say it's an homage to the Jurassic World trilogy, though it's kind of trying to bridge the gap. So I guess maybe that's why people want it, but what I really did this video for is because I want to ask you, the people that love the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus, to tell me in the comments, why is it that you love this dinosaur so much and really want it to appear? Or everybody's been talking about this idea of Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus and a T-Rex teaming up to defeat the D-Rex as like a theory for the film, and I just want to know where that originated. So if you could tell me like where you heard about that or where that idea came from, or hey, if it just came to you organically, if it came to you in a dream, tell me, because I need to know. I can kind of get it, but I also feel at the same time so lost. And are there fans, like mega fans of Jurassic Park 3 out there? Because I never thought that would be the movie that people would attach to so much. I thought the first film was always considered to be the most iconic, but maybe there's a lot of people that just really love JP3. And maybe not over Jurassic Park, but just in general. So let me know down in the comments. I just needed to talk about it. And yes, to specifically answer that question, there is no Jurassic Park 3 Spino in it, as far as I know, as there is no name tag on any of these dinosaurs. And the characters don't have any connection to Jurassic Park 3 Spino, so it would be hard for them to probably even identify it unless they had some kind of like in-depth file on it or something like that. So there's nothing that specifies that the JP3 Spino is here. But there are Spinosauruses, so if you like Spinosauruses, they're in the movie. I don't think it's a major spoiler because you see them in the trailer. That's all I have for this one, friends. Let me know your thoughts and share your love for JP3 Spino in the comments below. I'll see you down there, and until next time, as always, stay nerdy. Bye!